would get my lines in Hindi Devanagari script, right then, and then just have to give the scene right there. Now, I had been studying difficult work, working on a daily soap day after day, in a main role. For me, it just presents a challenge, to how do I, in India, but certainly not, an evil villain. And I played a rather small role for Meghna web series, which was an amazing show, and it was just fabulous to work with him and that team, and be, just a Russian diplomat. Changed my life because I loved it so much. I'd never seen anything like it. I started watching a lot of Bollywood movies and other Indian movies, but country, because really it's just like Europe, basically, which is, a continent with a whole. So I wasn't expecting one thing or the other too much, but, when you're entering a film with such a huge star, and you need to be prepared for that and trust that there's a good reason, and you just need to go with it. So it's way of filmmaking, getting your lines right away sometimes just before you got to shoot and all that, and you just got to surrender and trust. So Captain Miller again was another another masterclass in understanding the value of just taking things day by day, and as an actor, you need to be prepared for anything, I mean, that's what improv is about, and that's what acting is about, just being authentic and in the moment. So that was a big takeaway for sure.
So did you, by any chance, feel disappointed because you came prepared with the scene, with this, with your lines and all of that? Like, okay, next day I'm going to shoot this interesting, action sequence or this face-off with Dhanush and all of that, and then you come on set and the director tells, no, we've changed the entire scene. This is how you come. Did that ever happen? You felt disappointed?
Of course, it always happens. I mean, like in this film, it was no exception. I mean, in Triple R, my role was quite extensive. A lot of scenes that we did shoot didn't make it to the final cut.
Oh my God.
And a lot of scenes that were originally written didn't even make it to being shot. And as an actor, I've understood that you need to be prepared for that. You just take what you can. You plead your case. If possible, if there's still scope to talk about that. And a good director will always want to have that conversation with their actors. And so we do that sometimes, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Sometimes you have to just understand that there's a bigger picture here that the director has in mind, and in the final cut, it really could be better for the film that you're not doing what you thought you were going to do, and you're going to do something else, or your role might be smaller, but maybe it'll be more impactful. You just have to trust, and I've learned not to dwell on those things too much. It might sting at first, of course, but you got to move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I say Captain Miller, tell us one good memory and one bad memory you had during the experience of the film.
Oh gosh, there are a lot of good memories. I feel like there was a lot of time we shot in Kutralam, which is this beautiful little town just before you hit the mountains. There's this lovely hillside temple town, it's got monkeys just doing mayhem everywhere, and there's these amazing ancient temples and waterfalls, so really started to feel at home there, and just enjoyed spending time in the temples and going on walks, and feeding monkeys, and just amazing food. The local food there is very simple, but some of the best dosas and idli and chutneys I've ever had. So like I said, I mentioned, a film like this will be unpredictable. You don't know what you're shooting from day to day, and sometimes you don't know if you're shooting from day to day, and then you got a day off, right? So in the middle of all that intensity, shooting these crazy battle sequences and action, and just being such a evil kind of character, it's actually very important to have good rest and to be in a good clean environment when you do have that downtime. So I'd say obviously there's so many exciting moments as an actor shooting with the team and everything, but that's the first thing that comes to mind, is the other side of it, where you have a great environment to relax in when necessary. So yeah, just my time in Kutralam offset was really special.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other part of it was, tough part. Maybe again, just the unpredictability, you know.
Okay.
Sun beating down.
Just tell me about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, we were there during the rains, and then the rains continued and continued. So you just didn't know if you were going to shoot from time to time. But I think if I had to pick like one tough part, it would actually be some of the action sequences where it was exciting, it was fun, but there was a lot of chasing, a lot of running. And, you know, my knees just kind of gave out at one point, but I couldn't stop. You know, it's like if you give a shot where it looks like you're in pain and you're actually supposed to be running for your life and not in pain yet, at least, you know, it's like you can't do it. So you just have to bite the bullet and just, I don't know, just like go to the orthopedist when the shoot's over and hope for the best. So, but there was a lot of that where I just had to bite the bullet and deal with it. But it all turned out great in the end.
I'm sure like all your efforts and all the pain, turmoil you've gone through for Captain Miller and Captain Vandy, it will definitely turn out to be a great one.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you.
Yeah, and coming to Captain Vandy, you've played a lot of British officer characters like in the past and all of that, but how different according to you would Captain Vandy be like from the rest?
So yeah, like I had said, it's, you know, one of the joys of my profession of just like finding ways and accepting the challenge of making everything you do a little different, you know, even when it seems like, you know, you're supposed to do the same old thing. In this case, I really felt good about what we had done when I was working with Arun Bro on the character before we started. He gave me the reference. I was saying, just give me a reference, anybody you have in mind. And, you know, I think he's a big Tarantino fan. So, of course, he brought up Hans Landa, the SS agent, is just one of the all-time, just most, you know, despicable villains in history from Inglourious Bastards. So, he is a character that, you know, I also really, you know, was just amazed by that performance. Everybody was. So I wanted to give a little bit of that flavor of just he's very polite. He's very chill, but there's got to be a little bit of craziness too. And so I gave my own little flavor of what that might look like, and I just really look forward to you know, seeing what y'all think.
Yes, so looking forward to it.
Yeah.
You've played that quintessential villain in every other project of yours, but according to you, who do you think is a good villain, like on screen, and who's your favorite on-screen villain? What are the attributes of a good villain? Like people would love him as an actor, and of course your favorite villain.
Right. You're talking about in any cinema.
Any language, any cinema.
See, I love the villains that you can identify with. You know, the villains that really are just, you know, just doing the best they can. You know, if they've been dealt a raw hand and, you know, they don't want to be a villain. They don't consider themselves villains, although maybe that may be the case eventually. But just when you're pushed to that edge by your environment and it's not fair, you know, and so the audience actually has that that connect, you know, and that's what makes, you know, a villain for me, you know, really memorable, a good performance. And I think, you know, when Joaquin Phoenix did the Joker, that's the first one that comes to mind. So I'm just going to stick with that.
Okay.
There's others, but that was one that just
that was a cut above the rest.
I keep thinking about him because you feel for him, you know, but then you don't want to, but then you do again. And that's what I love in any performance, you know, mixed feelings about the character that really kind of churn you up. So, yeah.
Okay, so now let's just say you play the hero in a film, an Indian film. Okay, who would you like to be at loggerheads with? It should be an Indian actor.
You know, the movie that I first saw, the first Bollywood movie that I saw was Lagan, which just, you know, changed my life. And I always always talk about it, I always point it out, and I've never had a chance to work with Amir Khan, so that would be kind of a full circle moment, you know, if I could go
Amazing.
toe to toe with him someday. Let's see.
So,
Inshallah.
Mr. Amir Khan, inshallah, if you're like watching our interview right now, Mr. Edward Sonnenblick would like to be a part of your film where you are against him, playing the antagonist, that dashing antagonist, and he playing the protagonist of the film.
Yeah,
So let's see if an interesting project like this happens, and I'll be the happiest, because this is something that you broke in exclusively in my conversation here.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm gonna just thank you in advance. We're gonna hope for the best. All right, Amir bro, let's talk. All right, I think you gotta see Captain Miller, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But you know, not just villains. Like I said, very what's the word? Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Just
No,
edit this
that's
out
fine.
if you can. So yeah, I think we can move on.
Yeah. So you've been in India like for say 15 plus years now.
Yeah.
So tell us like 5 reasons you love India, and 5 reasons you love Chennai. People, places, food. 5 reasons you can tell, excluding these 3 things, because I've already given it away to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which 3 things? Excluding.
People, place, and food.
Oh.
Excluding
I can't
that,
say people, place, and food.
you've got to say something else apart from it.
Okay, so no places, or no.
Yeah.
Okay, You didn't say cinema, so.
Oh, smart one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a huge one. Obviously, I don't need to explain any further. The spiritual traditions in India are just so strong, and it's always been a huge draw for me ever since I set foot in this country. Even before I set foot in this country, I've been, a meditator actually most of my life, and one of the most treasured experiences I ever had was doing the Buddhist yatra in northern India.
Wow.
I visited all the places where the Buddha's life unfolded, and just so grateful I was able to do that, and it's just been really a rich part of my personal history. Is that 2?
Yeah. 2.
All right.
3 more to go.
Yeah. Can I say any specific foods or no foods at all?
No foods at all, because that's a very cliched answer,
know,
like everyone come up
I
with. So I
know,
wanted to
yeah.
hear something different from
Yeah. I love the weather. I'm not into being cold at all. I mean, I love going to the mountains, and all that, but nice, humid, warm day is just my idea of perfect weather.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, where I'm from, it's very dry. I grew up just having drier skin, drier hair, and all of that just kind of cleared up when I moved to India
Okay.
because of the weather.
Okay.
So it's that's 3, right?
Yeah,
And
3.
these are all big ones, I gotta say. Yeah. Are we? Just general things.
General things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because.
Okay, I won't
Oh.
make that difficult for you. We'll
Yeah.
stick to 3.
Okay. No, I mean, I love, like I said, the language, the diversity of the languages, and just like being able to cross a border and be in like a totally different country, I mean, that's an awesome thing about India. And I haven't even gotten to Chennai yet. I mean, that definitely counts for Chennai, is the spirituality here, is like such an amazing tradition, such an amazing language. All right. And, it's just it's got great weather as long as it doesn't get too hot. Right now it's really nice. So that's 3.
You've got to visit Chennai in the month of May.
Really?
And I'm sure you'll change your mind.
Yeah, I know. I was kidding. Are you crazy? I've been in Chennai in May, and yeah, it was definitely a challenge. But like I said, I'd rather be too hot than be freezing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in retrospection, did you ever think or ponder upon the fact that you would be a successful actor today in 2024? When you started, like, we always have this 5 years from now I'll be in this position, 10 years from now I would
Yeah.
have achieved this, right?
Yeah.
So looking back at it, are you happy in the place where you are right now, or how do you look at that?
Like professionally, I mean, that's one aspect. I mean, you could talk about other aspects of my life that are doing great too. But no, I'm doing really well. I'm really happy with how far things have come. And no, before I came to India, no, I didn't imagine. I might have started to dream just before I came, that maybe that was possible. When I was here the first time, I was mostly just soaking it in and just kind of understanding how I might vibe, how I might fit in with India and its people. And then when I came back the second time, it was to seek my fortune in Bollywood and settle and just make my life here in India. And this is what I had hoped and imagined at that time. Yeah.
Okay.
But like before this whole India Kida and Bollywood Kida and Indian cinema Kida started, no, I had no idea. I never would have told you if you'd asked me if this is where I would be. Yeah, and it's just a testament to just what, just following your heart and being open to, what twists and turns might come can bring you.
So 10 years down the line, where do you see yourself?
Well, still in India, probably in Mumbai.
Okay.
And I see myself, having diversified, still probably, being the go-to, white guy for these main villain roles and for other roles, but also, like I said, there's just so much scope for, having, other types of roles for foreign characters in Indian film. And I think Indian filmmakers are just starting to wake up to that. So in 10 years, I think that will develop a lot, and you could see, you could see me and people like me, doing hero roles as well. You just got to think creatively. You just got to think out of the box and think about what's happening now and what can happen now in Indian society. And sky's the limit. So
Okay.
I'm excited about the next 10 years.
Okay, so before we wrap up this conversation today, tell us one solid reason for people to watch Captain Miller. Of course, it's a magnum opus and we are looking forward to it, and it is one of the anticipated films of 2024.
Yeah.
But according to you, as an actor, as a part of the film, what is that one reason people should never afford to miss this film in cinemas?
It's an event. A film like this doesn't come along that often, that just has like so much passion poured into it and so much technical brilliance and acumen, from every team, from the effects to the action and the direction and the actors and the stardom. I mean, you've got Shivaraj Kumar as well as Dhanush, sir. So it's got everything. So this is your chance to be a part of history. To watch a film like this when it comes out. You can say, that this is when I first saw Captain Miller. I was this much old, and I just remember feeling this. So you're not gonna want to miss that opportunity.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Sonnenblick. It was amazing talking to you.
Please call me Edward.
Thank you so much, Edward. It was lovely talking to you and getting to
too.
know your journey as an actor in Indian cinema, and looking forward to seeing you in many other blockbuster films in the future. And team V4 Media Sarbaga, Captain Miller Padam Vetri Adaya Valthukal.
All right, thank you so much.
I actually said congratulations on the success of the film in advance.
Wow, Nandri.
Nandri. Thank you.
It's such a pleasure.